Before I get into details about this movie, I'll make sure that the first portion is absolutely spoiler-free, and I will let you know before I get into any of it. So if you haven't seen the film, you are safe to watch this video until that point. Hey guys, what's going on? This is your old pal CHH. Man, what a journey this one's been, right? Man, I feel like I would be silly not to at least acknowledge the turmoil that went on with this series. Obviously, with the firing of Melissa Barrera, it caused a shitstorm. I don't really talk politics on here, but of course the woman just expressed her opinion on something. Her getting fired was silly. I'm sure she's landed on her feet, she's doing okay. And there's also a lot of people that say they're boycotting this film. And there's even some talk about this movie getting review bombed when it comes out. I think if you look on Rotten Tomatoes, the film is got a 40% or something. It's pretty interesting. I was wondering before I saw this film, is that an accurate reading of Scream 7? And well, let's kind of start getting into it. This was one of the strangest promotions I've ever seen for a horror film. They were essentially doing everything opposite that you would do for a whodunit film. They're giving away the cast of this film months and months ago, announcing Matthew Lillard in this, and it's just what the hell is going on? I gotta be honest, I'm a person that likes the Scream films, but I take them in small doses. I get burnt out very quick. For instance, now that I've seen Scream 7, I can talk about it for a few days after this, but after that, I'm ready to move on. I like these films, but honestly, I'm one of those people that kind of thinks that all the sequels are kind of doing what the first movie was making fun of. The tropes of horror, this, that, and the third, everything that we've seen in the genre, and the first movie turned all of that on its head. Well, all the sequels are just copies of the first movie. They're whodunit movies in the style of a Scream film. Some of you might disagree, but that's exactly how I feel about it. Now, that doesn't mean I can't enjoy the sequels, but okay, let's just get into it. I feel like I'm starting to ramble. Did I like Scream 7? It's kind of a mixed bag. I've never seen a Scream movie make me go from happy to upset in a matter of mere moments while watching a Scream film, and there are some mixed emotions I have with this film. On one hand, I do think that the scenes of suspense in Scream 7 surpassed both 5 and 6. They were true moments of me being like, oh my god, I am really getting lost in this scene. When there's chase sequences going on, there are a few in here that are really, really great. It didn't feel so much like a jump scare as more of a, oh my god, you need to realize what's going on type thing. And those are moments I always enjoy in horror films. I'm not against a good jump scare, but when you set up a good scene where you know this person's in trouble, and you, the audience, knows it, but the character doesn't know it, that's stuff I really applaud, because I really get lost in scenes like that. So there's definitely scenes in Scream 7 that I was like, god, this is really, really cool stuff. And then there were moments where, after 5 seconds of seeing things, I was just like, I am just upset that we're doing this. I really am. And then mere moments later, from me feeling like that, I was like, okay, well, let me see, because maybe this is a little bit more intricate than I give it credit for. It was an emotional roller coaster, to be honest with you, with Scream 7. I just went from hot and cold 4 or 5 times throughout the film. Maybe that was the point from Kevin Williamson and the team, and if so, then touche, you got me. But ultimately, by the end of the film, I was just like, okay, I'll save that till I get into spoilers, but honestly, it's a mixed bag for me. It really is a mixed bag. There's things I liked about it, and then by the end of the film, I weighed the pros and cons, and ultimately, I think the cons for me might outweigh a little bit more than the pros. But there are some good pros. I didn't find anybody as annoying in this one as I did in Scream 5. Scream 5 really had some annoying, in my opinion, annoying characters. I didn't feel that way so much in this one. Thought everybody seemed pretty grounded. Now, there are some colorful characters in here, but not in a sense that you're just like, oh, this is so obnoxious. Also, the use of Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell were pretty good. I think Nev's actually better in this film than I've seen in some of the other ones. Obviously, she's playing that kind of reserved, quiet Sydney character, but it actually felt like the Sydney from 1, 2, and 3, more so than maybe even 5 or 4, maybe not 4, but definitely more than 5. I felt like this Sydney was the Sydney from the first 3 films, which that was a cool feeling to me, because obviously those films are nostalgic for me now. I just don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to marinate on this one a little bit. I really am. I'll get into more of this in the spoiler section, but overall, for those that haven't seen the film yet and you just want to hear my thoughts, I'm somewhere in the middle. I really am. Do I like it more than 5 and 6? I think it's possible. Definitely more than 5. Definitely more than 5. 6 was definitely entertaining. I mean, the gas station scene was something I was like, this is rock and roll. I don't know. You'll have to come back and ask me in a week, I guess. Or at least until I see Scream 7 again. I'll have to watch both of them again, but I don't feel like it right now. God. Okay, guys, we're going to get into spoilers real quick. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you can take off now. Thank you for watching. Please drop a like on the video. All right, guys, so I'm going to say this as a blanket statement. In my opinion, this movie, I feel, would have played out so much better. Of course, with a few tweaks to the story, nothing that couldn't have been rewritten in a sense. If 5 and 6 didn't happen, if this would have been the Scream movie that they made in 2022, and of course, if they wouldn't have announced Matthew Lillard and things like that in the film too, them announcing this is just, I guess I get it. They really just needed to promote this movie with all the controversy that was surrounding it. Ultimately, the AI sort of deepfake stuff was just like, after a few minutes, it was just sad. I understand it was used as a motif for the actual reveals at the end, which again was the absolute worst part of this movie. Now, you may be asking yourself, Christian, well, when's the last time there was a great reveal in the Scream films? I would say ultimately probably 2, maybe 3, but probably 2. But the difference here is, man, the build-up to it had me really wondering what the hell's going on, because they eliminate almost everybody in this film to where it's like, okay, well, I really thought the boyfriend had something to do with it. There was also a scene in here that made 0 sense to me. We, the audience, know during the filming, essentially, that really Stu is dead, and somebody's deep-faking Stu's face. And of course, the boyfriend decides to get on a green screen and try to reenact one of these Stu scenes, and it's really bizarre. And his explanation to his girlfriend is, well, I just wanted to see if I could do it. Ultimately, he wasn't the killer. Who the fuck would actually go through doing that? It made 0 sense. That scene was pathetic to me. And another scene that really played off hokey as hell was in the beginning when they try to recreate the Billy Loomis and Sydney scene with the daughter in the bedroom. It was the same thing. The guy comes into the bed trying to talk all seductive, saying he's watching movies on TV. In this case, it was the Stab movies. And it came across as so hokey. I just feel like Williamson was way above doing something like that. I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's just me. That scene was just an eye roll the entire time. But ultimately, there were moments in this that I was like, this is good stuff. I actually thought the opening sequence was really, really cool. There are some questions I have as to why the people at the end of the film, the killers, were actually at the Stumacher house to begin with. I got to piece that together. Maybe I got to do a little bit more investigating, or maybe it was just like, hell, we're going to use the Stumacher house in the intro because it's cool. Granted, it was cool, and I liked being there. And I like some of the pop culture stuff they were referencing. Like, of course, there's an obsession today with horror movie villains and people being obsessed with true crime. That's all good stuff, and I think that's where the film shines when it's commentary about people today. I just feel like the whole thing with Matthew Lillard being in this film, I mean, of course, he actually was filming those parts for the movie, but knowing it's all deepfake AI stuff, just after a while, I was just saddened by it. I just think that it was a way to get him in the film at this point and try to tie it back to the originals. I don't know. At the end of the day, I just didn't think it was all that great. It's a mixed bag. The reveal of this was so piss poor in my opinion. And yes, a lot of the endings in the Scream films have been that way. People just say to themselves, they're let down usually by the reveals. But this one did, I think, an even better job of keeping you guessing and trying to figure out who really this is, because obviously Stu's dead, that when you find out and it was the neighbor being a part of it, it's just like, okay, I guess they put a lot of thought into this movie, and then just who's going to do it? Oh, well, I mean, nobody. Because ultimately, and this is where I may get some crap, Sydney's story really ended in 4. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of 4, but I think I can openly say I think that was a good ending to her story. Her being in 5 in these movies, I mean, I almost wish that they would have just passed the baton at that point. And maybe that was the case, but ultimately we saw what happened with Melissa and everything, so here we are. But yeah, I just think the ending to this one was atrocious, and it just hurt even more because I thought the build-up was done better than most of the sequels before. So it's just a mixed bag. I don't know how to feel. I mean, I enjoyed parts of it, and I rolled my eyes at other parts. So I don't know, guys. I'm just going to be somewhere in the middle on this one. Let me know what you guys think about this film. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say. And I'm just so over this AI stuff. It's really annoying me. So obviously I don't like it in general. And I'm not saying that the film annoyed me using it, because maybe it was trying to say something with deep faking and AI and the confusion people have now. But overall, I don't like using it in storytelling aspects. So that's my thoughts for now. Kind of convoluted, I know, but that's just the only way I can describe it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Huge, giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind-the-scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.